And welcome to this episode of the Capitalized Life and Retirement Show. I'm your host, Matthew Johnson, president and owner of Johnson Wealth and Income Management, a retirement income source located in Clear Lake and Humboldt, Iowa, serving clients in northern Iowa and southern Minnesota. Well, how are you today? Hope you're doing well, taking a little bit of time for yourself. Maybe you're in the car running errands. Maybe you're in the garage putzing around, whatever you may be doing. I just want to say welcome to today's program. Today, I want to delve into an issue that's maybe pretty private. I want to deal with some concerns and some worries that I feel that so many of the individuals that I talk with on a daily basis are feeling. And in fact, what kind of spurred this was recently I did a bit of a survey, completely unscientific, of course, but I did a bit of a survey with clients, and I did a bit of a survey with individuals that come to my college events. And basically what I did was I sat down and I had a sheet of paper that I would give them with, we'll say, 12 to 18 different concerns that are pretty common in today's environment, today's world. And I asked them to just circle the ones that they felt a commonality with. I asked them to circle the ones that maybe they truly presently had a concern or a worry over. And then after coming back and looking at all the various answers from all the various different individuals, what I contrived is that there is really about maybe 4 to 5 major concerns that literally every single person is feeling. And I want to kind of start our program today by asking you a very serious question. Have you ever had the experience where you feel a particular way, but you feel as though you're the only single person that feels that way? Has that ever happened to you? I know it's happened to me. And when it comes to money, when it comes particularly to retirement, it can feel pretty scary. You see, one of the things that I think we have going for us in the Midwest, and this is a good thing, I think, in many respects, is that when it comes to our private lives here in the Midwest, whether you're in Iowa, Minnesota, Missouri, Illinois, Nebraska, money's kind of a private thing. You talk about money amongst maybe your very closest friends. You might talk about money with regards to your children or your spouse. But that's about it. You don't openly share about retirement and retirement concerns and what you're personally doing. That's kind of a private thing. Money has always been kind of a private thing. And, I just can't help but wonder, is that maybe part of the problem? Is that the reason why so many individuals today feel as though they are the only one that's feeling this way? No. When I do my workshops in various different colleges, and I give all the participants this piece of paper, and I have them circle their concerns, their worries, the things that they've been thinking about, even prior to coming to the class, I will then collect all of those pieces of paper. And of course, no one's name's on it. And I'll ask individuals, how many of you had this particular concern? And you know what? In some way, shape, or form, this has been extremely helpful for those that came to the class. And the reason being is because I think we do feel as though we are the only person that's stressing over what's happening politically in this country. We might feel that we are the only person that's stressing and worrying over the stock market and what the stock market and the economy has been doing. And depending upon the political persuasion of our friends or the circle that we are in at the time, we may feel as though we don't have the freedom to be able to express ourselves and say how we feel. So today we're going to do a bit of the same exercise. And here's what I would ask. I would ask that you would give me some feedback. If you'd go to my website, johnsonwim.com, just drop me a line. Go to, post a question or whatever into the website. Contact me and let me know, or send me an email and let me know how you feel. What are the things that have been keeping you up at night about retirement, about the political environment that we're in, the economic environment that we're in, what's happening in the stock market? Are you concerned? Are you worried? What are the things specifically that worry you the most? So let's start with the first one. And this is a big one. Can I even afford to retire? Now, if you caught that question, you noticed that there was a very particular emphasis on one word, and that word was even. Can I even afford to retire? Now, I have to say that when I hear this question, it's coming from a place of so much uncertainty. Is this something that you personally have struggled with? When you look at what you've set aside for retirement in your 401k, your Roth, your post-tax accounts, have you been concerned about, can you even afford to retire? And what the driving force behind that typically is the cost of living. The cost of living continues to go up. We know that the cost of living has skyrocketed since 2019. And we've watched it. And one of the things that we know about the cost of goods and services is that those things are not going to retrace until there is a massive recession. Things might level off like a step where things go up and then they level off before they go up again. But things typically don't retrace in price until there's a major reset, until there's a recession. So have you ever been worried about, can you even afford to retire? Has that thought crossed your mind? Who have you asked that question to? The answer to that question could be very subjective. It could be something that, one person who may not be as well off as you could look at what you've got and go, man, like you got it made. What are you worried about? Or another person coming from a completely different perspective and point of view could look at what you've got and go, man, I don't think I would retire for at least another 5 or 6 years. It's very subjective. How about this one? Am I going to have enough to live on? When you think about the seriousness of that question, am I going to have enough to live on? That indicates to me that the person is concerned not only about the cost of living, but the amount of income that can be produced